Joey Wiemer, for me, what stands out is just the defense, and this is a clear trend now. You can go back to Drew Gilbert at the deadline and Justin Dean a couple weeks ago, and now this guy. Like it's good outfield defenders, which is that's going to be weird. Like we're not used to that, so it's like Grant McRae is a very good defender, but we're not used to the depth chart, I think, being this good defensively. And
having multiple options when it's time to do that defensive switch late in the game.
Or just more like, we'll see where some of these guys end up and who gets sent to AAA and who gets outrighted maybe and things like that. But just having better defenders in AAA as well is going to be helpful. But it is like a very clear – and one thing I don't know that we've talked about here, but we talk so much about pitching and all the other like little needs. Every single time Buster gets asked, like at the GM meetings, a couple national people come over and just do their, hey, going to talk to everybody. What's your needs? Like it's always pitching, but he always throws outfield defense specifically. Not like I need an outfielder. I need a right fielder. He says outfield defense specifically. So it was the worst outfield defense in the majors last year, which is, I'll throw back to August. It's unacceptable for this group. And there's some guys who are not very good defenders, but like John Cooley should be better in center. Elliot Ramos should be way better in left field. He'd say, I've had that conversation with him. Like he was very disappointed with the way his season went defensively and is working on it and is hopeful that he's a plus defender next year. But I think that's going to be one really easy thing to pinpoint moving forward is like it's been years of talking about getting better defensively in the outfield. And this is like pretty targeted now with getting some guys who are, Wiemer doesn't have a whole lot of big league experience, but what he does have is you look at like outs above average. He's been an above average center fielder in the big leagues. This does also open you up a little bit if you want to try to swing a big trade.
Yeah.
That's your centerpiece. There's not a lot of guys who can be a centerpiece for a trade. Like we always talk about like if you call this team about X, they would say, okay, Bryce Eldridge.
Exactly.
Which is a non-starter, but maybe the next conversation with some of these teams is Elliot Ramos. This is an extra layer of depth there. I think currently you have Ramos in left, you have Lee in center. You have multiple guys out of this group of 10 who are not going to be there in spring training or are not going to be there at the end of camp. And so you have these other guys fighting for jobs and bench jobs. And the other key here is their bench is going to be much better defensively.
Okay.
And you've also added a couple guys who can run, which is, hey, San Francisco Giants.
Much needed. Who are these guys?
How about that? So, yeah, this is an easy place where we have this conversation every offseason in part because, like, 5 years in a row, Farhan would sit down at the end of the year and say, we need to get more athletic. We need to be faster. We need to be better defensively. And Buster has said that as well. And you look at this current roster, and again, like, where are you going to find those improvements? It's not going to be your backup catcher. So this is the one spot, the outfield, where I think they can try to inject some athleticism. And, these aren't big names, but they've done a nice job for free in doing that for the last 3 weeks. And maybe they find a better fit over free agency or in the trade market, but at least there's like some guys who can run. I just am like, I'm so over the bad defense. And so I'm like, when I look at a guy and I'm like, oh, he can defend. And I can remember seeing that guy a little bit. I've seen Justin Dean. I've seen him play defense. Like, I think that's a real positive.